body recomposition. That's the main thing that is going to be the key focus of this video, because the principles of that is what I followed through with to achieve what it wasn't even that big of an achievement, but I'm kind of happy with it, so I'm going to make a video on it. So that's what I did. There's going to be 3 things I'm going to be focused on. First of them is exercise. So the exercise I did consisted of a bodyweight circuit, which consisted of 2 main exercises, which were push-ups and pull-ups. So what I did is that I did a set of push-ups to like almost failure, so like an RP 8, which means there's 2 reps left that you can do until you can't do anymore. And I did the same for pull-ups. I took about a 20-second break between the 2 exercises, and then after I felt like I was ready enough to complete a decent amount of reps for the next set, I carried on and did that again. So I did this for 30 minutes, like over a few months, and I did this at least for 5 times a week. It only took 30 minutes, so I think it was like quite doable for everyone. It didn't take that much time. So, but also what I did is that every week I kind of changed the exercises up a little bit, so my body didn't get used to what I was doing. So for example, for the push-ups, I changed it from normal push-ups to tricep push-ups to pike push-ups to incline push-ups and decline push-ups, because these also kind of shock my body and work other body parts as well, because I didn't want my workouts to just be chest dominant, if that makes sense. So what else I did for the pull-ups, I changed it to chin-ups, which worked my biceps more, as like not many bodyweight exercises that I know of work my biceps. What I also did, I also included some tricep dips as well, because like on the days or on the weeks that I wasn't doing tricep push-ups, because I think like my triceps are quite weak and I'm trying to develop them a lot more, so I increased the volume of what I did for the triceps. The reason I think this workout I did worked quite well is because as the weeks went on, I could progressively overload. As the weeks went on, the amount of volume that I could do increased as I got stronger and better adapted to these exercises. And the main stimulus for muscle growth is progressive overload. And as you can see, I gained a decent amount of muscle. This process probably is going to work better for like people that are complete beginners, because before quarantine, before lockdown, I think I'd been training like properly for like maybe 6 months. Like the rest of like a year and a bit, I was just in the gym doing I was doing nothing. I was literally there just to take pictures and post on my Snap, basically. Allow me, man. I was attention seeking you back in my days. But now I'm serious. Anyways, back to the video. So that's what I did for the exercises. Another thing I did is that every morning I went into my garden and I skipped for 10 minutes. I know, kind of weird, skipping, a grown guy skipping. I'm not even grown like that, you know. I'm quite small and I'm not even 18, so ignore that. But what I did, I skipped for 5 to 10 minutes. Like at the start, I kept tripping over the rope because I was a beginner when it came to this. But as I went on, I could skip for longer, and again, I got better at skipping, so I could probably burn more calories doing that. And I found it quite fun as well, doing it. If it's not for you, you can just run or something. But what I did, I skipped a lot. I did that every morning. That's the 2 things. That's what I did for exercise and what I did for cardio. Next, we've got my diet. So basically what I did, I kept my calories the same. So I tracked my calories for a 1 week using MyFitnessPal, and that's the calorie count that everyone uses. I used MyFitnessPal to track my calories for a week, and then after that I kind of guessed, I intuitively ate what I thought was like the caloric amount that I ate. So I was like 65 kg at the time, and so that would mean I'll consume around like 2,000, maybe 2,100 calories a day for my weight. Like there's many caloric counters that you can probably use on the internet, but the best bet is probably track your weight for a week and count your calories for a week as well. And if there's no gain or loss in weight, that's probably your daily caloric intake. So what I did for that, I kept my calories the same because I'm not trying to lose the little bit of muscle that I had, but I wanted to lose a bit of fat. But also for my diet, I kept a very high protein intake, so I consumed around 110 to 130 grams of protein, maybe a little bit less on some days, but I kept at least above 100 for most of the time. This is because like there's studies showing that increased protein intake has led to increased muscle growth, and also protein is quite satiating, so it keeps you quite full. So it means that you wouldn't be tempted to eat a lot more during the day. So like overall, it would make you consume less calories if you look at it from like that perspective. Also for protein, I took a lot of protein supplements. I took a lot of protein powder and took a lot of protein shakes because my diet, I'm from Nigeria, so like my diet basically consists of just rice every day. I would say for like the last like 4 years, I've ate rice at least 4 or 5 times a week. It's not the best for putting on muscle. So I got extra protein powder. I stole an extra chicken from the pot. Sometimes got me in trouble a little bit, but it's worth it for the gains. Anything for the gains, man. So that's what I did. I increased my protein intake doing that. So that's what I did for my diet. But like bringing it together, what I did in conclusion was that I did that exercise circuit for around 5 times a week, maybe a bit more on weeks. I'm feeling like, yeah, man, I'm on a roll. Sometimes I felt kind of like sick, for example, and I had to decrease it to 4, maybe 3 times a week. But the key thing, I'd say, this is the third thing. For example, I put 2 fingers on. Third thing, for example, is patience, because in the first few weeks, you're not gonna, for me personally, I didn't see a lot of progress, and it was after like a month, maybe 2 months, that I actually like looked at pictures that I took previously, and then I saw a decent change in those pictures that I took, and I was like, this is actually working. So be patient with what you're doing and be consistent as well, because consistency is probably better. Like if you like don't push yourself to your limits, like if you push yourself to your limits once and like be like doss about in the gym or like doss about with your exercises for like the rest of the few months that you're training, is worse than like putting at least a decent effort or actually doing some exercise for those 3 months, because you're gonna make better progress. So consistency and patience, those are like, that's the third thing. That's 4 things, but that's the third thing I was gonna be looking at. But yeah, if you have any questions, just ask me below of what I should do for next videos, because yes, and I have a lot of time, so I can make a lot of these. And yeah, if you like it, like, subscribe. You don't have to do that, you turn up to the video, so spud me for that. I'm happy with that. I'll catch you man later in a bit.